Diary, good evening. It's the end of October 2025. Now, this is actually a video about bicycles. And believe it or not, another potential upgrade to the Carrera yellow bicycle, which I said wasn't going to happen. But I will mention the fact that all of this takes place in what I would call our cave, named after our Swiss cave, which we don't have anymore. And so for the last sort of 7 years or so, we've called this space the cave. Now, I would call it the person cave, not the man cave. And there'll be a separate video about how to best insulate your cave and prepare your cave to actually do serious either cycling work or vintage computer work or even exercise work in. And that's the kind of thing that most British people want to know, because in the UK, a lot of things happen in the garage. In the UK, for our international viewers, a lot of people do not use their garages. They're used, in the worst case, to just store crap. But in the best case, people do up their garages and do things inside the garages. And this is a good example. Anyway, back to the plot. The plot is this Carrera bicycle I thought was as upgraded as it could be. But I'm in the process of renovating this cave and making it winterproof or winter resistant. And what did I find but an Eastern 10-speed rear wheel? This Eastern 10-speed rear wheel was my every other day, because I would try and cycle every other day in Switzerland, to work, and that was a 20-kilometre cycle there and a 20-kilometre cycle back. It has done some kilometres. It's been in a bicycle, sorry, it's been in a bag for the last couple of years. On the right, you'll see the 8-speed wheel that fits this Carrera bicycle. Now, I've been chatting with some clever cycling friends. Excuse me, it's winter. Been chatting with some clever cycling friends, and I said to them, how is it possible that on the flat I can keep up a decent amount of speed? So I can keep up my 30 kilometres an hour, let's say. But as soon as I get to a hill, everyone just tanks past me. And they said, oh yes, you've heard about Carrera, that Halfords brand. They make really heavy stuff. And so it is true. I've done some weighing. I can't show you the weights, because I've already half replaced this. But the back wheel weighs up, what's it? And so the master plan is to fit the 10-speed rear wheel to the back of this bicycle and make it a much more performant cycle. So the 8-speed cassette has been fitted to the 10/11-speed wheel. And there's a very famous website in cycling called Sheldon Brown, where he looks at things like gear ratios and compatibilities. I did have a little poodle on Sheldon Brown, and it's kind of said it was going to work, or maybe I needed a spacer. So I thought, what the hell? So we're in the introductory phase. I've not got on the bicycle yet. It's coming to the late night on of the night, so I'm not going to go out cycling in the dark to do a rebellities ride. But I've put the 8P cassette on the, let's say, 11-speed hub. It looks like it fits quite well. One of you are going to be laughing now, thinking that's not going to work. Anyway, we're going to stick it on. Now, this has got indexed shifting, but it's not very easily to index it. So I might need to literally do the start point and finish point by actually pulling this cable through and setting the start point manually. If that makes any sense. So that's where we are. We're going to start in a minute. We're going to assemble the bicycle, put it on a stand, see if it shifts like it's going to work. And then there's going to be a reliability ride ASAP tomorrow, because if it doesn't work, I've got to disassemble all of this, because I've got a cycling trip to make early in the morning. So really early in the morning, we'll do the test. Keep you posted. Diary. So I'm very happy to report that Principal Upgrade 2, which is the upgrade of the back wheel to my inexpensive yellow Carrera bicycle, is a big success. So what do I mean by that? So recall, this wheel was found in this bicycle bag, and it's actually the back wheel from my stationary bicycle, indoor bicycle. It's a 10 or 11 speed wheel, and this is an 8-speed drivetrain bicycle. However, I've put it in, I've twiddled with this, which is the end, the main adjustment for the cable for the 8-speed transmission, and absolutely everything works fine. In fact, this new Buckloss sort of no-name cassette actually works better on this replacement 10-11 speed wheel with hub than it does on the native wheel that's supplied with the bicycle. So we are almost fully upgraded. Surely there'll be no more upgrades. Talk to you soon.